Hey everyone, welcome to Social Happy Hour. I'm your host, Peter Madrigal. I hope everybody is having a phenomenal day, fantastic day. I decided to start this up again. It's been a long time since I've done a Social Happy Hour. It's been actually years. I actually did a video a couple of days ago just to get back in the feel of things because I've been so busy with other projects recently that it's been all over the place. But I'm gonna probably do this every Friday afternoon. So cheers. Today I'm having a green juice. Things have really changed for me recently. I don't drink as much as I used to. I know I'm in front of a bar right now. It's been a little bit of a change in the way I do things from like 2020 when I used to do this very often. I used to do Social Happy Hour very often back in 2020 and in 2021, and I took a little bit of I guess you could say a hiatus for the last 4 years, and now I'm kind of back, but I'm a little bit more classic in a sense, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a phenomenal Friday. It's coming into the weekend. Tonight, actually, I'm going to be doing going to like an auction dinner or something in a few hours. So I got to start getting ready for that in a few minutes. So it's gonna be a fun little evening. But yeah, welcome back to Social Happy Hour. Someone that you might not see right now is Johnny. Johnny, we will probably see if I can bring him back on in a few episodes. But right now, I just wanted to come on, say hi to everybody. I'll probably do an Instagram live as well later on, or I'll have to hook this up and put all the things into one spot over here on this stream, so that everybody can join in on the Social Happy Hour. But today, your bartender, your friend, your mixologist, sir manager extraordinaire from a long time ago. Welcome back to Social Happy Hour. Today we are talking about a few things that I've been doing in the past few years. That's the way we're going to start this particular episode. And then in future episodes, I'll be bringing on guests and all that stuff, and smoking cigars and all that good stuff. Maybe even having a couple of cocktails. You never know. Like I said, I'm a lot more placid these days. I'm a lot more just kind of even keel. But so one thing that I've been working on recently, back in the summer, I was working on a show called Bar Brawl. So Bar Brawl is a bartender competition show that I've been pitching around town for years. Actually, I started pitching it back in 2015, and then what ended up happening was, there were a few bumps in the road. I'm not going to get into those on this particular live stream. I might put them in a book in a future book somewhere. But what ended up happening was I couldn't get any traction on Bar Brawl, so that's one reason why I started Reality Network back in 2023, and so. The reason why I started Reality Network back in 2023 was because I couldn't get any traction for a couple of different shows. One of them, of course, was Bar Brawl, what I'm talking about right now. So in May of this year, I started doing the pre-production for Bar Brawl. Then I went to, in July, the middle of July, till the beginning of August, we were in Las Vegas, and we shot the entire series, the entire 12 episodes. So right now I'm pitching Bar Brawl around town here in Hollywood, and I'm going to be, we'll see where we go with the show. I'm probably going to put it on my network, of course, or I'm probably going to pitch it to somewhere else. We'll see. But be on the lookout for that. It's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to share that with everybody. This is a passion. So Bar Brawl was a passion project that I was working on for 10 years, literally, 2015 till now. I even look at I even look at the paperwork that I put together for Barbara. And I had short hair, no facial hair, and I was pitching that 10 years ago. And to look back on it, like that short amount of time that I put it together, I produced it, I exec produced it with my buddy Double D, Daniel DeFast, and well, I'll probably bring on one of these episodes coming up, one of these Fridays coming up on Social Happy Hour. But I produced it with him, and it's something that he and I were trying to get off the ground for years. We shot a pilot for it back in 2021, and then it just, it kind of didn't go anywhere. And then afterwards, it took some years to gain some traction. We both got distracted. I was doing Vanderpump Rules. I did season 10, season 9, season 10. And then finally this year, we wanted to do it last year. We wanted to do it in 2024. It never took off. And then finally this year, I was like, okay, determined, we got to get this out of the way. That way we get one show done. Actually, I've been working on 2 shows. I get this one show done, especially this one. And then we move on and are able to get to season 2, which I have a couple of phone calls coming up about that, because people want to get in on season 2 now, which is interesting. You prove yourself with one season, and then all of a sudden everything else just comes together. So I was let's see, I have a I'm so excited about Barbara. Yeah. So that's something that I was very passionate about working on for a long time, and now I can't wait for everybody to eventually see it, and I can't wait for it to be out there. You're gaining. So right now, what's going on with this particular live stream is everyone's gaining a little bit of the way I kind of am by myself these days. Not so like bombastic like I used to be. Come on, show happy hour. So it's a little bit of a different vibe. It's a little bit of more of a mellow vibe these days, and that's kind of the way I like it. So cheers, everybody. Now, on to something else that I was really passionate about. Everyone's doing cryptocurrency these days, and so I've officially become a crypto bro, I guess you could call me now. I don't even know where that term came from, but it sounds interesting. But so I started my own, because I've been in the nightlife realm for so long. And then my initials, Peter Madrigal, or PM. It only makes sense that I create a coin based on my name for nightlife, and that's something that I came up with back in December of 2024. I always get these interesting little projects that I like putting together, and then all of a sudden, just kind of see them to the end, fulfill the project, and make sure that it gets out there. And that's something that I was looking to do for. I wanted to make sure that this thing got done. So there was a few delays at the beginning of the year in 2025. I started putting pen to paper, started writing everything down for this particular coin, what it was going to be, what the utility was going to be for, etc. How it was going to be utilized by everybody, which is what I'm going to get to as far as my goals are concerned for this particular project. But it wasn't until around May that the whole project really kind of started getting going, really started getting its legs under it, really started moving along very quickly. And what ended up happening was my partner on this particular project, he was all like, well, let's get this coin out by the time it's your birthday. So my birthday is on June 14th. Well, of course, there were some delays, some more delays, because we couldn't. He's himself is a perfectionist. We want to make this thing as perfect as possible. Actually, I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share the screen. Actually, this is a lot of fun. I missed doing this. It's kind of awesome, actually. So this is my website right here. PMCoin Network, right here. And so we have 64 days left to. We have 64 days left. There we go. 64 days left till we take this whole thing public. So right now everything is going on a whitelist at the moment, and that's more for exclusivity. But what I want for this utility, what I'm going to get to for this utility, what my vision is for this coin, is when people go out and they are out on the town, I want you to spend your night with me. That's my slogan for this particular project, for this coin. Spend your night with me, PM. And basically what that means is I want people to be paying for their drinks, paying for their bottles at a club. Let's say you go to a club, paying for your drinks at a bar or your meals at a restaurant, all nightlife stuff, even going into entertainment, to be paying with PM coin. That's my vision for this whole project, is for you to be able to pay for everything. Your night out, spend your night with me. Your night out with PM coin, and that literally was something that ruminated in my mind for a long time, actually, since December of 2024, when we first thought about this project, and then it really got it kickstarted in May. And now all of a sudden it's launched, and it's here, and it's wow. You it's just like with Bar Brawl, you kind of compartmentalize everything that you've done for a long time, for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden you see it come to fruition, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that it's actually here now. For instance, with Bar Brawl, it took me 10 years to finally get this thing shot, and actually filming it was less than a month. It was like 3 weeks, and now it's come and gone all of a sudden. And something that you have obsessed over for a long time, all of a sudden is finished, and you're wondering where the time went. So, and that's my goal for PM Coin, is to get everybody to pay for their night out, spend your night with me with PM Coin, and utilize this coin to have your night out. And it's weird. It's not the same amount of time, but it's not 10 years, but it's 1 year, almost 1 year to the day, because we thought about this. I thought we came up with this concept at a Christmas party in December of 2024, and then all of a sudden you're here and it's already launched. You're waiting for a long time for this thing to get launched, and all of a sudden it's like, wow. For me, one thing I'll say is that patience is a virtue, and good things come with time. You have to make sure that you never give up, and you always kind of stay focused on what you want for your goals and what you want to accomplish, and you make sure that you get those goals done. If that's one thing that I'll impart on this particular, live stream right now, and in future live streams too, is that never give up, never stop. I'm going to light a cigar right now because I want a little bit of a head rush. See if there's anybody in the chat right now. So, there we go. This is the entirety of a year's worth of work right here, PM Coin. So it's the next generation in cryptocurrency minted to power nightlife and entertainment digital ecosystem. It's founded by yours truly, Peter Madrigal. It is designed to connect clubs, bars, restaurants, event organizers, and partygoers by rewarding participation, loyalty, and community engagement. And very soon, I'm going to have a couple of really cool announcements coming up. I'm already working with a couple of event companies. So One thing that I will say is get on the whitelist right now. Get in and get your PM coin, because once this thing gets going, once I take it off the whitelist and put it out there for everybody to start buying it, it's going to be something. It's going to change dramatically. Things are going to change very, very quickly. But yeah. Anyway, there's some gossip that I want to really talk about and touch on, because let's face it, I am I am still in that realm, and I like to gossip just a little bit. One of these days, I'm going to. Oh, here we go. This is something that I want to show everybody. I'm going to be doing Teddy Ball. Let's see here. Here we go. I wonder why it's not doing it. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing Teddy Ball on the, let's see, when is it? It's going to be on November the 29th. So it's going to be like a Christmas party, because we're already past, we're going to already be past Thanksgiving at that point. Yeah. So come join us. Come join me. I'll put this picture up again on my Instagram and my Twitter. But it's going to be a black tie charity event. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everybody's going to be able to. Anybody that's in the area of La Jolla, so it's going to be San Diego. Come out and hang out, and say hi, and have some fun with yours truly, Peter Madrigal. But because I like to talk about, because I like to talk a little bit about gossip here and there. Kevin Federline, aka K-Fat. His book is being given away. Britney is #1 again. Britney Spears. I love Britney Spears. Never really listened to a lot of her music, but actually, that's not true. I used to listen to Britney Spears also. Wait, no. Hold on. Whenever Slave for You. There you go. That's the one. I was a fan of the person, not really the music. That's why I couldn't remember. I was more of a NSYNC Backstreet Boy guy. That ain't no lie. Bye, 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 baby. Bye, bye, bye. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I can't believe that everything that's happened to her, and I hope she's doing well. Shout out to her. I hope she's doing fantastic. Britney Spears. It's just there's a lot of stuff that's I'd want to do a deep dive into her life and what's happened. I just have, like I said, I've been pretty busy. But the big news for me was the NBA rigging stuff, because I'm a sports guy. So because I'm a sports guy, and because the NBA's, it's been part of my life for a long time. I used to watch Michael Jordan and his Bulls, and them winning all the championships. And when he retired, actually, this is a little personal story. When Michael Jordan retired from basketball, that's when I kind of stopped watching it. That was in 1999. I wasn't, I didn't keep up with it as much. I knew who Chauncey Billups was because I think I watched him a few times when I was younger, and I was really paying attention to basketball at the time. When you're younger, you have a little bit more time to kind of watch all the sports. So when I was a kid, after school, you're either working out, or you're in sports, or you're watching sports, and that's kind of your life. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I only have time for one thing, and that's the NFL, because that's how busy I am. But so Chauncey Billups, I remember watching him, years ago, and now that he's a coach, it's crazy to me how uh, this this whole cheating scandal, this whole gambling scandal, has gotten so far out of control. It's kind of actually it's kind of nuts to think about how, because I mean I don't spend money on gambling. I'll spend a couple of dollars here and there on a big parlay. You know, you can win. Let's say you do like $1 or $2 bet on 15 legs. You know, you're like, oh, they're going to go over, they're going to win, they're going to tie. You know what I mean? I have one that's coming up this weekend. For me, it's engaging and fun, and it's not much money. It's like $1 or $2. You know, you're not going to hear me spending 10 grand on betting on a football game. That's crazy. You know, not even $100, barely even $2, $3 bets, you know, because it's fun. It makes the game more fun and more engaging. You're like, come on, you know, get me this first down, you know. But from what I understand, these guys, one of the guys, Terry Rozier, was taking himself out of games apparently and then I saw a bunch of videos on Twitter and on Instagram of this guy taking himself out of games to go home and count all the money. That's apparently what happened. Wow. What is this? Like, these guys are making like multi-million dollars a year, multi-million dollar contracts, and he's worried about. I mean, I think my personal opinion, I think that once you get to that level, why would you want to make an extra 400? I guess it was like $400,000, because you're already making millions of dollars to be on a squad to win games. I thought that was the point of of basketball, football. I mean, it makes you wonder what's going on in the NFL. You know, anybody that's on Twitter and sees me commenting on my Twitter, anyone that sees me commenting on my Twitter will know that I'm a big football fan, and I'm always saying stuff about the NFL. You know, so I don't want to find out that that's rigged. I mean, and of course, because if you follow that stuff, you see it. You know, it's inescapable. It's actually, you see all of the accusations now going on about the NFL because of what happened to the NBA, and you kind of start wondering, am I watching the WWE? Now, I'm not talking about the effort that the players put on the field, because if you watch football like I do, I mean, it would be very apparent, and it'd be very apparent if the player or a coach was throwing a game. And what's funny is that sometimes you see certain things from certain players, like, why did you throw that pass? You know, or a coach, why did you call that play? You know what? What's interesting is that I really appreciate, they call her Tomb Raider. I really appreciate what the owner, Jim Irsay's daughter, what the owner of the, I'll have to look up her name. I want to get her name down. 1 second, guys. Jim Irsay's daughter, there we go. Carly Irsay Gordon. Okay, so Carly Irsay Gordon, what I appreciate about her, and it has to do with this whole cheating scandal. What I appreciate about Jim Irsay's daughter, Carly, is that now, and I think a lot more owners should do this or should start doing this, she's on the headset all the time, figuring out who's calling what plays. And if you notice, the Colts, and I'm talking about the Colts in this situation, the Colts are actually 6-1, I think, is their best record since they had Phillip Rivers, and that was a few years ago. So if someone's throwing something or throwing a game or doing something that nefarious, she's going to know about it. And that's something that I really, really appreciate about that, because all of a sudden, because everyone has to mind their P's and Q's while they're on the headset, because, you know, Tomb Raider's out there with Indiana Jones as their quarterback. listening to the conversations and finding out like, okay, who called that play? You know, she's got her notepad and everything. She's like prepared and writing everything down. And I find that kind of interesting and fascinating. You know, I think that more owners should key in on what their employees are doing, because it takes away that possible conception or misconception that this thing might be rigged. You know, especially with the Colts. So I appreciate that big time, especially with this whole cheating scandal that just came out just yesterday about it was a 4-year investigation by the FBI into the National Basketball Association. Wow. To me, that's a little nuts. I can't. You stop like this. This whole thing could blow up into a huge scandal, because you realize at a certain point, you start realizing that if you're betting on those games and they were purposefully, like, you're not involved in the whole gambling situation, right? And you're betting on, let's say, the Heat or the Trailblazers. In this case, those are the two teams that are implicated. And you're betting on those games, and you're just a regular person. Like, let's say I go to Vegas and I start betting on those games, and then you find this out. I mean, it would only stand to reason that you'd want to sue the National Basketball Association. I'm just saying, because you start wondering who else was involved in this whole situation. Like, who else was involved? Jackie Media reposted this stream. Thank you, Jackie. I really, really appreciate it. Jackie Lewis. Social. Yeah. So who else was involved? But you start wondering who else was involved in this particular scandal, you know. So it stands to reason that you could see a few different lawsuits come against the NBA, which is kind of nuts to me. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, everyone go check out PMCoin, pmcoin.xyz. Download the coin. So with this particular coin, we're going to be using the Phantom wallet. So, you know, get your Solana in there. It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Also, I will be a judge next year at the Miss Nevada Corporate America. That's going to be it'll be a lot of fun. So, you know, come see me at that too. That's gonna, if you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, come see me at that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be judging the pageant, I guess. They invited me, so cheers, everybody. Oh, nothing like a little bit of green juice for your daily routine. Something that I'll say about my new lifestyle is I really pay attention to what I eat these days. It's interesting how you kind of start these habits out when you're younger. And when I first got on TV on Vanderpump Rules, I didn't really pay attention to my outward appearance all that much. I'll go back and look at some pictures from like that were not just random pictures, but stuff that was shot by Bravo, you know, like some of the initial cast photos, and I'll see myself in those pictures and I'll be like, what was I doing? Let me see if I can, just bear with me. I'm going to see if I can find some. This is, like I said, this social happy hour is a little bit more mellow. I'm just kind of gauging everything, and re-engaging with everybody. There you go. So it's a little bit more mellow now, and I want to kind of share my internal thoughts with everybody. Let me see here. Let's go Vanderpump Rules. We'll go 2012, because that's when images. Let me see if I can find one with a group photo with all of us. Just like a candid thing. You know what I mean? I'm very like I see some of this stuff online. Some of it's brought up, and I'm like, what was I thinking? It's 13 years ago now. And as you grow older, I'd say it's a sign of my age. Back then when I was a kid, I didn't really think about the way I looked or dressed, or it wasn't until around 33 years old that I really kind of woke up, because in 2013, that's when I turned 30. So about 3 years afterwards, in 2016, is when I really started like dressing in a suit all the time when I went to manage the restaurant, or just in general, like start taking care of my face, started putting the serums and the lotions and all that stuff on my face. And I started paying more attention to myself once I hit the age of 30. And now I'm 42, and I'm more precise about drinking my green juice, drinking less alcohol, making sure that I put all the lotions on, all the serums on, making sure that I take care of myself. I'm in the gym all the time. I got to do another sweaty mess post on Instagram. I haven't done one of those in a while, but it's something that I've kind of mastered over the years of being like just paying attention and being on the show. Group photo. I'm gonna try group photo. Interesting. There's a couple of pictures that I kind of go back to all the time, but I can't find them right now. It's very interesting. But yeah, as life has progressed, as my life has progressed, I've begun to pay attention a lot more to myself in general. It's something you always have to kind of pay attention to and look forward to, etc. By the way, thank you everybody for joining me for Social Happy Hour today. I really appreciate it. A nice little catch up before we really get going in the next couple of weeks. I'm redoing the show and re-going on the show, getting this thing going again. I'm probably gonna, instead of doing Wednesday, I'm probably gonna do Friday afternoon instead of Wednesday. I like the end of week a lot more. It's a lot more quiet, a lot more peaceful. Hey, who knows? I might bring on some guests that can be a little bit fun. But like maybe I'll bring Johnny back. I'll see if he wants to come back, or we'll bring a couple of my other friends. That could be a lot of fun too. Just pile them up. With that being said, go check out PMCoin. I'm gonna do another little shameless plug over here for PMCoin. So like I said, this particular coin is it's a utility. It's not a meme. I'm not a meme. I'm a person. So it's the PMCoin. It's a PMCoin network. And again, what my goal is with the PMCoin is spend the night with me. So you're going to be able. So I want what my goal is for this particular project, for this coin, is for you to spend your night with me. In other words, you're going to be spending PMCoin at your restaurant that you go to, at the bar that you go to. You go to a club, you buy the bottle or the table and the bottle with the PM coin, and we're going to be having venue industry partners, VIPs. The rewards, you can also check out the rewards of this particular token, PM Coin. You can earn rewards for attending, supporting venues and live events. That's another thing that I want to, and I'll be partnering up with a couple of industry folks. Because let's face it, I've been in the industry. I've been in the, not just the entertainment industry, but I've also been in the restaurant industry as a bartender, mixologist, and manager, America's manager, for over a decade now. So it's something that kind of falls right into place for me as a person. But you're going to be, so we're running on the Solana blockchain. So whenever you get Solana, you can trade your Solana in for PM Coin. This is the wave of the future. That's something that I discovered a few years ago. My brothers told me, "Oh, you got to be buying Bitcoin, Peter." I'm like, "Okay," And now I'm literally looking at it like, "Oh wow, this is really taking off." Because Bitcoin is a wealth asset. That's what Bitcoin is. It's a wealth asset. Whereas you have Solana. Solana's more for spending, and then there's let me see what was it called. Okay. Okay. So there's different there we go. There's different coins. So Bitcoin is more of a wealth asset, right? So it continues to go up. Let me get myself back on screen. So it continues to go up, right? And then you have Ethereum. So Ethereum was used for documents. So all these different coins, they're all utilities for certain, like for instance, I own part of, I bought into a coin called VTech. VTech, its utility is for transportation of goods throughout the Pacific, So like you have like a Dogecoin. Dogecoin is just a meme coin, or you have, all these meme coins that come out and there's no real intrinsic value to them. Whereas a utility, there's an actual value to them because of what's going on with the coin on the back end and what the coin is specifically used for. Like I said, Ethereum is used for documents. So you put a little bit of Ethereum with every document that is sent all around the world. It's very interesting stuff. And it's stuff that I'm kind of discovering at this point. It's interesting. And I will say that I'm not even a crypto bro yet, although I do have a coin and I'm getting more and more into that space. And now I'm literally going back to school for this thing. Thank you everybody for joining today. We're at 100 viewers right now. That is fantastic. I'm also going to have to do a live very soon on my Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. It's Peter_Madrigal. You probably already do. But yeah, that's basically the my goal for PM Coin is to collaborate with nightlife, crypto, pop culture, crossover. That's basically what it is. And that's the utility behind this whole thing is nightlife, entertainment, all that stuff that just goes together with the restaurants, and clubs, etc. Buy your drinks with my coin, and that's basically it. So what we're going to be doing soon with some of our industry venue industry partners is we're going to be doing promos to enhance value. So you're going to have special. You're going to be one of the VIPs whenever you go to a place that holds PMCoin. I'm also going to be doing a whole documentary on this whole thing, and I'll be putting that on Reality Network. You're also going to be able to save a tremendous amount on fees and have the potential for token rise in value or decrease. There could be some correction in the market, of course. None of this is financial advice, by the way. I'm not giving any, but it's a lot. The point of this and the reason why it's going to be a little bit more attractive to venues is that it has a lower cost for the transaction fee than a credit card. That's the Solana chain on the blockchain. It has a lower cost to pay for stuff, basically. Credit card processing fees are they range from 1.5% to 3%, or I think it's at 4% right now with some credit cards. With Solana, it's a lot lower. Let me see, how much is Solana right now? Yeah, so Solana is 0.001 to 0.0025 per transaction. So it's a lot lower than credit cards. So that's another talking point that I'm going to be using to bring in VIPs, venue, industry partners. It's going to be. So like I said, this is kind of like this whole coin is the wave of the future at this point. Bitcoin is the wave of the future. Even the U.S. government's doing coins now. So there's obviously something there. So you might as well get in on it while it's low, so that you can move along. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is just me talking about what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I've been doing Bitcoin for a while, and then I decided, why not do my own coin? So check out PMCoin. So it's pmcoin.xyz. I wanted to be a little bit weird. Like, for instance, Reality Network. Reality Network is realitynetwork.tv, and this one is pmcoin.xyz. It's a little bit like, crazy and weird and a lot of fun. Anyway, that being said, I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be back next Friday. I'll be letting everybody know. I'll be going live at around 3, maybe 4, probably 4 o'clock next Friday for a little bit of social happy hour. I might have a couple of cocktails then, but I like to, again, limit my drinking these days to once, maybe twice a week. Ever since I turned 39, once I hit 40, 41, I started taking months off of the year from drinking. So I'd go, like this year, for instance, I've gone 6 months out of this year not drinking. And on top of all that, you just start racking it up those months because I don't drink every day, So it's more of a dry months and damp months instead of dry months and wet months. So I do, and even my drinking is a lot less. So instead of having 3, I'll probably have 1. Like tonight, for instance, I'm going to this auction for this charity event, and yeah, I'll probably have a glass of wine. That's it. So I don't, like I said, I don't really drink as much as I used to, especially because once you start getting up in age, you start recognizing certain things about even your face. You're like, okay, well, I want to preserve this. So how do I do that? Well, don't drink as much and use as many serums as possible and moisturizers. Anyway, that being said, I hope everybody has a safe weekend, and I will see you all next Friday.